Put y'all right there. We are about to go live in the community. If I can find it. We are about to go live in the community today. Of course, I have to. I got so much on the screen. Make sure y'all can hear me. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. What is up, everybody? Let me. I can't see. There we go. I had to flip that. We are in the community today. Where am I at? Jimmy, are you not hopping in the community? Not on this live. You're supposed to be on the Q&A call today. If this is the right Jimmy. You're supposed to be on the Q&A call. What is up, y'all? What is going on? Happy Thursday. Let me pause this. I am good. I am a little tired. Yes, Jimmy. Come on over. I'm on live on YouTube as well. Jimmy hopped on the YouTube live. Jimmy needs to be on this Q&A call. What's up, Marley? How y'all feeling? Season started for everybody?
Not yet. Probably a couple weeks from now.
Who said that? I couldn't see the name. It didn't come up.
This is Damon. How you doing, Ashley?
I'm good. Where are you located again?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia. So y'all haven't started in Georgia yet.
No, ma'am. We just had our media day yesterday, though, so it's near.
Yeah. Almost here. Almost here. Anybody else haven't started, or everybody else done started yet? That have started so far?
Well, our first game is we got a scrimmage on Saturday, and then the first real game is next week on Friday.
Yeah. There we go, Jimmy. I see you. Yeah.
So no, we ain't started yet neither.
Well, I guess I meant like official practice done started. So you got official.
That started this week.
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
So everybody official practice done started, and then you got scrimmages. What, this weekend? A lot of people are playing. Prelude is big here in Texas. A lot of teams are playing at the Prelude. And then what's that? The following week, right? The following Tuesday is when first games are. The following Friday.
Yeah, next week a week from tomorrow. Next week on Friday.
Yep. Next week on Friday. What questions? This is for y'all. I don't have much to talk about today. I really just want to be able to answer questions. It's Q&A day. Whatever questions you got, come on the screen. I'm here for you. Let's talk.
What do you think about all the mergers that's going on across the state with the AAU organizations? They good, bad, or to
I'm
be
in
determined?
I'm in between. I think for the talent pool, for lack of better words, I think it can be good. Because I think that's one of the things that hurts Texas. Like Texas used, and it's hard to say because you don't have Cy-Fair in a Final Four. Cy-Fair has won. But for the most part, like Texas normally dominates. And I feel like it's been hard because my screen is so dirty. I feel like it's been hard because it's so many teams. So I do like the merger of like how Team Lex, IFN, and SA Finest merged together because none of them were really strong. Like after this year is going by, none of them are going to be strong. So I think them merging together will be good. However, I think for the kids that's not in that 1%, for the kids that might not be on that elite level, it's going to hurt them. Because one, and it hasn't come out yet, but like there are some teams that don't have the EYCL deal anymore. You kind of getting rid of a lot of the secondary circuits, and you losing teams. So I think that's gonna hurt some of these kids because right now the circuits are dominating everything. Like they're trying to corner the market. So it's like if you're not on the top team, then what? And then if all the teams merge, you got less teams. So who you gonna go play with? So that's why I say it's a mix. It's a little too early to tell right now because you got to see how it's gonna play out. But as far as like I said, from an elite level, trying to get most of these kids on the same team is gonna be good.
Curtis may know, if he's on here, he may know more than me, but it's the reason why I asked that question to Kai about practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and it's not just Cy-Fair, actually, because like all these teams are starting to pull girls from all over.
Yep.
And so to me, it makes it more difficult to practice.
Right.
And the young lady you had on last night said her team was practicing 3 times a week.
And they won the championship.
And what team was that?
EYBL. I mean, it was like Takeover.
Takeover?
Yeah, she talked about, and I think that is at the end
I
of the.
can't hear nothing now. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Curtis, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what that was.
Yes.
Takeover practice 3 times a week?
Takeover practice 3 times a week, and she talked about how like that's why they knew each other. That's why they was able to do certain things. Like I do think that hurts Texas a lot at the end of the day. We've had a lot of talent, so you kind of give and take, but at the same time, again, they not able to practice the way they need to because it's kids from all over.
You know one thing I learned about Takeover too, though?
Recording in progress.
That Takeover head coach 17U is their high school coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Jackson and Gigi Banks, they go to St. James, and the head coach is the high school coach.
That's you're talking about Durant, Team Durant.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Durant. Yeah, I'm talking about Durant.
But yes.
But yeah, that could make a big difference too if your high school coach, your AAU coach.
Yeah.
I mean, you practicing all year round.
And that was honestly why Gigi ended up going to St. James. Both of them.
Yeah.
So Gigi and Jordan Jackson both went to St. James. But even when you think of Team Durant, when you think of the Final Four was Why Not, Team Durant, Cy-Fair, and who am I missing?
Why Not, Cy-Fair, Team Durant, and Takeover.
Takeover, Why Not, and Team Durant all are teams that practice on a consistent basis. Cy-Fair was the only one. But all 3 of those teams practice on a consistent basis. And I do think that is what's hurting a lot of the Texas teams, which I say is good for the merger. Because now you're able to get some of these teams, some of these kids in the same city for the most part, not too far away. You don't have to pull so many kids. But I do think that hurts. Like she said, like Autumn said with Team Takeover, they in the gym 3 times a week. There's no way you doing that with Sci-Fair, with Pro Skills, with IFN, with any of the Texas teams because the kids are so far apart.
I don't know. I don't know. I think when you got that type of talent and you got a good coach, I mean, I guess because my last 2 years, obviously, we played for Sci-Fair, so I watched 15, 16, and I know we don't practice that much. But when you got that type of talent and that type of culture and coaching, and even when you do practice, I think you get a lot out of it. You don't really need, in my opinion, you don't need that much practice. When you have high-level kids like that, I've seen Sci-Fair 15s go to the Final Four, 16 this year go to the championship, year before Final Four, year before 17s won. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, like I said, from what I see, I mean, I get the other teams that do it and how it may help. But from what I can see what Sci-Fair doing, it don't look like you need practice, don't get me wrong. But with the type of kids that play for Sci-Fair, particularly, the way they put it together, they don't need that much practice. You know what I mean?
I'm
That's
gonna.
what I was gonna say.
It don't. I'm just being, it just don't seem like as much as other teams may practice. Now,
Right.
don't get me wrong. We do weekends where you practice for 10 hours. For a few weekends out of the year, but they're not practicing like you said 3 times. I mean, Chavez. I mean, certain people never even came to practice. You know what I mean?
Right.
They still won the chip. So it's like when you got that type of talent and that type of coaching, I think the coaching make a big deal too because they got some real coaches. You know what I mean? And them dudes X and O and more than probably out coaching the other teams.
That's a
even
fact.
do practice all the time. The only team that probably will get over on you, I would think, is like an all Iowa that they practice all year round. You know what I mean? They got their own facility, but all those kids live in the same, vicinity, and they practice. But those teams don't have the same type of talent either. So it's like,
That's what I was gonna say. Either you got to practice a lot, or you got to have overwhelming talent.
Right.
Yeah, and with good coaching.
With good coaching.
Yeah, with good coaching.
Because I mean, like you said, we've seen it happen. Other programs, but I do feel like it's something about getting in that gym together, having practice together. I mean, and like you said, you got with like most teams in Texas, you got the Sci-Fair, you got the Pro Skills. They're gonna do the boot camps. They're gonna do the tour days. They're gonna do all of those different things that I do think is good as well. But yeah, I'm still a firm believer of like getting in the gym with your teammates versus just like to show up and play. And to your point, like you said, it depends on the team. It depends on who's on the team. It depends on the levels of the girls as well.
Yeah, because when I think about the mergers, that don't mean that the team's going to practice more. It just means that better kids going to be on the teams. You know what I mean? I don't think that make a kid from Lubbock come to Dallas more. You know what I mean?
Well, what it does, because now what they're doing is like, you still won't necessarily practice with your team for some of them. Like I'm gonna just take the IFN one. They gonna kind of have practice in San Antonio. They got practice in Dallas, and I think they actually trying to move into Houston to where it'll be Houston. Same thing with like Texas U. You got Chris Johnson that's with Sci-Fair Premier. He's going to be hosting stuff in Houston. Well, he's not with Sci-Fair Premier anymore because they merged with Texas U. But he'll still have the Houston base. So they're going to have practice there. And then you got Texas U. You got the Dallas base. Same thing with Fam Elite. They moving in. I think they got a West Texas portion. I think they got a Houston and a Dallas. They're going to be holding those practices for those girls. More so like workouts.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sci-Fair do the same thing. I mean, even last year... I mean, obviously, we live in Austin, so we don't go to neither. But Sci-Fair have workouts in Dallas. I mean, especially, Ashley, they got Bird and them type of people.
Yeah.
Now, so they do something in Dallas. They do something in Houston all the time. But I guess to me, you still don't necessarily get, because even when we went, let's say when we go to a workout in Houston, all of the kids ain't there anyway.
Right.
So it's not like
that's true.
Like your whole 17U, your whole 16 is like spot 2 people here, 3 people there.
Yeah.
To me, that's more of just a workout. That ain't really, you know what I mean? It could be a good workout, but I'm just saying from a team perspective, it would be good if all your kids lived in Dallas, then you
Right.
can do that 3 times a week, 2 times a week, that type of thing.
That's true.
But yeah,
That's a
South Fair
great
doing the same.
point.
They got to do it in Austin now. They just announced that, so now they're gonna start having workouts and all. But that don't mean they
Yeah.
don't get all the. It ain't gonna be like real practice, that kind of things.
Right. That's a great point. That's a great
But
point.
yeah, I think for elite kids, I think the emerging thing is a good thing. It should be more selective. AAU should be more selective anyway, because there's a bunch of kids playing AAU that shouldn't be playing AAU anyway.
Yep.
I agree with that.
But
Yep.
that's just my take.
Yep. Jimmy, I seen a video. I saw you were in Dallas.
Jimmy going to South Fair. He didn't tell you that. I've been seeing him post all the videos. I'm just waiting for the announcement.
Yeah.
They gonna put the flyer out there.
We ain't going nowhere this coming summer, I don't believe. But no, Lefty kind of invited us up to Dallas, and so we went to go check things out. And so, like I always be telling other people, you need to explore your options and see what is out there.
Yep.
And so it's we could play 14 junior EYBL for South Fair this year, but as we go up, it's no guarantee that there's going to be a spot for Olivia on 15s or 16s or 17s or whatever, or it may be a spot. It just might not be the best fit. So during the off season, we try to go train, guest play, whatever, with as many people as we can, just so we can get a feel for the coaching, the interest level of the girls. As we move along this basketball journey, that's one thing I'm finding is very important, is like, you see Celeste working out at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Olivia be up, lifting weights in the morning, and, we be running. The girls are serious about basketball. You can see it. And now I'm starting to see it's very important to be around like-minded,
100%.
like-minded kids and like-minded parents, because we're doing it for fun, but we ain't doing it for fun.
Right.
And so we can't be going to tournaments with 6 players, or when we have practice, we supposed to be having practice. You committed for them, those 3 or 4 months. We doing basketball, and then like Curtis said, coaching matters. I told you right now we playing on a fall ball team, but it's a collection of girls from all over the city, and we really not losing. But these girls care. It's kind of like Curtis said about the South Fair practices during the season.
Yeah,
it's like the Tuesday night practices we have.
Y'all getting it now.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yep.
It ain't no joke. So
that make a difference, though. That do make a difference.
Yep.
It's just the intensity level is different, but to get where we trying to go, like not only during the summers on these travel teams and stuff, but also trying to get to a college. The girls need to be around that, and I've invited people to join us at trainings and practices and stuff, and people, it's not like people aren't training, but I'm trying to give you an opportunity to be with some of the best 7th, 8th graders in the city.
Right.
Like we ain't fooling around, and so some have come and some have not, but I'm like, all I can do is make an offer, but as we move, yes, we went to Dallas. It was a good group of girls there. I told my wife, I was like, a 6'2" girl just walked in. Another 6'2" girl just walked in. I was like, a third one just walked in. And then later on, we training and doing different things. And then a fourth one walked in. I was like, what they feeding the girls up here? But,
these girls different.
But I was glad we went, and we're going to try to go again. It's just, we can't go every weekend, and it's kind of like that rolls into like, well, when we do start playing 15, 16, 17s, do I want to make that drive to Dallas ever so often? Because it's not only the like I drove 6 hours, almost 7 hours to for an hour and a half training.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, every time it's dangerous getting on the road here in Houston. And so, you going 70, 80 miles, 90 miles an hour up the road to Dallas, a lot can happen in that trip. So it's just a lot of factors you have to consider. But
Yeah.
ultimately, we're going to make the best decision for Olivia. Like, is she going to play? And is she playing on a team that's playing in front of coaches?
Right. I like
And
it.
so, and so when that time comes, we'll do whatever we have to do.
That's good. And that's one thing I will say for parents that's on here. That's one thing I do like that you're doing, Jimmy. You are going to multiple workouts. And I know some of us are high school athletes and high school season has started, so it's a little different until we get to those Sunday workouts. But don't be afraid to go to multiple workouts. Like, even if you think you know where you're going to play, don't be afraid. Don't think it's like anything bad or whatever to go to multiple workouts. That's the only way that you're going to be able to know what somebody's doing, if what they are saying is right, if you can test that against something else. So go to multiple workouts and see what the coaching styles are, see what they are saying. Are they all pretty much saying the same thing? Are they saying something different? What are the parents saying? Like, get with some of the parents that have been in the program, ask them questions. This is the time, like, for 8th and below, definitely. And then, like I said, high school is a little different because you're in high school season. But a lot of these programs are going to have Sunday workouts. Go to them. Go to the Sunday workouts.
You just gotta tell them, Ashley, no cameras.
Right, because listen, when you go, you will be posted.
That's the real problem. I would go to more workouts too if I knew everybody wasn't gonna be recording everything and posting it.
Yeah, they gonna do that. They gonna do that for sure.
Well, sometimes I go because I want people to know we went.
Yeah, okay.
That's a great point.
And I post it because I just want to be like, okay, well, we got options.
Yeah.
We're not beholden to any particular organization. So when you come to me and you talking about, oh, we got to pay to be on the team. Well, so and so not gonna make me pay to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Or we playing on this circuit. Well, we could go this option and play on this circuit. I just want people to know we got options. And but like I always be saying, it's work that come along with it. We still working and trying to make sure Olivia's ready when it's time to be ready. But when it comes down to it, some of these organizations, there's no guarantee that you're going to be on their 15, 16, or 17 teams. So we trying to make sure we have some options when it's time to figure that out. Mm-hmm. And the only way you can figure it out is by going.
Jimmy, y'all in the 7th grade, it'll be 4 more murders by the time y'all get
for
to 16
sure.
years.
For sure.
Sci-Fair might be with pro skills by then. You never know.
For sure. That's so funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because
that's the crazy part.
Olivia's 12 years old. And so that's why I've been talking about holding her out, because we could sit out this coming year and she still could play 14 junior EYBL 2 years from now, if that's what we want to do.
Right.
Or she could play 15s as a 13-year-old. But if she's playing 15s as a 13-year-old, that's like 5 more years of circuit basketball. I mean, we got time.
Yeah.
And so, they just put out those EYBL stops. I'm like, man, each one of those is about $3 or $4 grand, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for all of them, though. I ain't going for...
Right, it's some good stops. It's some good...
A day early and a day late.
It's some good stops.
Every spot.
I'm going to take
I saw that New Orleans day pop up.
Oh, man, that's my spot. I love that place. I can't wait.
So Marion and Amber both asked, how do you know where the workouts are? Michelle pretty much said it. One, follow the organizations on social media. They're gonna post it. They're gonna post when they having workouts because they want the kids to come. So whatever area you're in, Amber, I know Texas. Marion, I think Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever area you're in, follow the program. So if we're talking Texas, like make sure you're following Sci-Fair, make sure you're following Pro Skills, make sure you're following Texas U, make sure you're following Lady Jets,
Family,
Family.
SA Finest.
There we go. Even though SA Finance is kind of merged, but making sure that you're following the workouts. And Dionette did just say something. Most workouts are invite only and not posted. Majority of them, like for example, like I know like Texas U, all the ones that I just named, all of them have posted their workouts. So most of them will post, but even if it's a program that's in your area, like I just named off a lot of Texas, Marion, if it's programs in your area, FBC is not in your area. Oh wait, well they're in FBC is what, Atlanta?
Yeah.
Who's in your area? Miami Suns.
The Miami Suns, Essence, like we've been trying to follow Essence but haven't seen anything. I think there's ECU.
I have an
and,
Essence Connect. So just make sure to message me. But I do have an Essence Connect.
Oh, great.
To reach
That would be
out.
great.
Yeah. So just make sure to message me on the app. So that I don't forget. I'm trying to think of who else. Who else is in your area? And then four, because like Dionette said, some like if it's invite only, at the end of the day, these programs want kids. So if it's a program that you see, one, whether they're hitting me and saying, hey, do you know who this is, or do you have this relationship, like where I can message them or you can message them with a highlight tape, because I mean with any type of highlight. I got you coming, Damon. Because there's always going to be kids that they don't know about. So yes, they're going to have invite only workouts for specific kids, and just to make sure that they can have at the end of the day, a quality workout to where it's just not anybody coming to a workout. But that's where relationships come in. That's where reaching out, like literally Pro Skills just picked up a kid. They don't announce. I don't think they announce players, but I was talking to Earl. They just picked up a kid from it was an invite only workout, but the parent emailed them, messaged them, because he thought that this was a parent in the community. So that's how I knew about it. He asked me like, hey, do you know this parent? They sent me a highlight tape, yada yada yada. They look pretty good. And the parent went. So like, yeah, that's why I say yes, some of them are invite only, but if you send something to the program, or if you know somebody that can tell the program about the athlete, that's also how you can get into these workouts. But it starts with, like I said, following the organizations on social media, and reaching out. I'm coming to you, Damien. I saw your hand.
Ashley, I have a question after that also.
Oh, go ahead. Who is that, Dionette?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, quick question. So for the workout, and just so with the directors, what do you think about if they tell you, hey, this is who, we're trying to, I guess, go after, this is who, we see being on the team. For me, I feel like it's so early because we got to get through like all the way up to say February. And I've already seen where like two young ladies who supposedly, one of the directors told us that those two young ladies are going to play with their program. Then I saw where they're playing with, they've already said, hey, we're going to be with this program.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that if you're trying to kind of look at the roster and,
I'm going to be honest, it's hard because we are in November. I mean, as you said, like Ashley can say, okay, she going to go play with Sci-Fair. And then by the time February come, Pro Skills done told me this and it looks good. I'm changing my mind. I'm going to Pro Skills. So it is really hard hard to get a gauge of who's playing. But I do think like still asking that question, because there are going to be some kids that's just going to be locked in at the end of the day. Like, you're not going to find it to where, let's say program has 9 kids that they kind of got locked in. All 9 of them are going somewhere else. Now you might get 1 or 2 that was supposed to be with this team that's going somewhere else. But for the most part, when they get kids that are locked in, those kids for the most part are locked in. But like I said, right now we in November. Like, to me, I think the focus is just going to the workouts. I personally don't recommend, and this is my opinion, anybody choosing a team right now unless you're pretty confident in the coach, like, and you're pretty confident in what the program does, and it don't really matter like who's on the team, if that makes sense. That's the only reason I would go ahead and pick a team. But other than that, I'm going to workouts. November, December, January. January, I probably will be looking. I'm going to workouts. And Amber said, good question. When is it too late? Everything is about communication. Everything is about talking to the program, because there are some programs who will fill up their rosters and that'll be it. So it varies by program, but I would communicate with the program, asking those questions. What does the roster look like? How many are you gonna have? When are you looking to fill? But that will determine when you're gonna make your decision. But I don't recommend saying yes to a program in November, because as you just said, Dionette, like, a lot of it can and will change. Like, that's just how it is with these kids. Well, yeah, with a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of mergers. And then I'll take, for perfect example, Sci-Fair. There were some kids that was actually getting ready to go to Sci-Fair. They had already told their other program that they were going to Sci-Fair. Well, when Sci-Fair made the announcement of the 2 to 3 kids they got, that changed a lot of things. So once kids start committing, once stuff start happening, it's also going to change the direction of some of these kids and the direction of some of these teams. So that's why I said, like, November, December, I would focus on getting to different workouts, unless it's like, I rock with this coach, I believe in this coach, I love this program, and I know that they are going to do right by my daughter. That's when I'm like, if you are confident in that, then you can kind of make a decision.
Yeah, I agree with that too, Ashley. But and also the confidence in your kid. Because
For sure.
like with me personally, like with Celeste. So obviously, she been having success, blah blah blah. So they saying she gonna go to 16U. Now, mind you, last year she played 14U.
Right.
I don't care if they put her on 16U or 15U, because I want Celeste in this program with the best kids that I believe are in Texas, period.
Right.
So I don't care who on the roster, because I'm going to be putting in the work with Celeste, that between now and March, whoever's on the roster, they're going to say, well, we got Celeste. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
a fact.
I'm not necessarily gauging who on the team to what my kid is going to do. I mean, you get what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily worried about the roster, because I'm planning to be the roster. You get what I'm saying?
I like that. No, that's a fact.
I want them to say, we got Celeste. Now, who else can we get to play with Celeste?
Absolutely.
I think that's a different way to look at it versus all this, because this is not the NBA roster management and who you got and who you don't got. Like you said, they post kids and then people leave, because sometimes, people are scared of the competition. To be honest, they don't want to play. They don't want to play with kids that may be just as good or better than them. But that's not necessarily how I look at it. So I say, if it's me, I'm a parent, I'm working hard. Like I tell Celeste every day, we're working hard to be on 16U. You have to be good enough to be a valuable piece on 16U. And if you're not, and they put you on 15U, I'm cool with that too. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool either way, but I'm not necessarily worried about who's on the team and all that kind of stuff, because I want to be the person that's on the team. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm training, we're working out 2 times, 3 times a day to be the roster piece that people want to play with, not the other way around.
I like that, but
I agree with him.
Oh, go ahead.
That's why I always say you have to be ready when it's time to be ready. Because I sat there this past summer and watched the junior EYBL and EYBL games, And there's no hiding. There's no hiding out there.
Ain't no hiding.
Either you ready or you're not.
You ready or you're not.
And other programs may give you, just from my opinion, they may give you a little bit more chances, you know, than a side fair. You come to side fair, if you're not ready, you're not ready. You're on the bench. Like, and I'm cool with that because I played in college and I understand that that's how it go. But I would rather my kid be forced into that environment than worried about what somebody else doing and what the roster. I think that's too much. That gave me a headache trying to do that 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I think
was in that same boat.
I think it also depends on the age of the kid, the grade. Like if we're talking, like I'm gonna just go deal net, Brooklyn. I don't even know if this is Brooklyn situation. I'm just saying in general. This is the last year, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff matters. Like if we're talking somebody that's a freshman, somebody that's 8th grade, yeah, like that's a little different. But when we talking your last year, at the end of the day, you got to get it right. That's just what it is. So like I do think you say what?
I'm about to jump in on that because you know, I got a 5th grader who is working just as hard as my 17-year-old now. So with the 5th grader, to y'all's point, you know, everything you're saying is aligned. You know, you got time. Even if you need to take a step back and just go rep, and be super, you know, incognito for a year or two, it's not gonna matter because when you get them out in the smoke, they ready for it. But my 17-year-old's got one more,
right?
You know, so that choice has to be the right one. Yeah. I agree with what, you know, I think it was Curtis, what he was saying. Personally, I want my kid to be an integral part. Interesting. And they need to be the one, you know, one of the ones. Not like it doesn't have to be a situation where, you know, you don't want to be playing with nobody, but at the same time, you don't want to be the 8th or 9th option. You know what I mean? You want to be sitting where you're really playing some viable minutes and you're getting the reps and you have somebody that believes in your kid. I think at the end of the day, people need to realize it's cool if Cy-Fair wants your kid, but do they believe in your kid? Do they believe the way that you believe? You know, they're working 2-3 times a day and they're about to put this serious work in because all it takes is somebody to believe in you, to put in that back end work. And once that happens, you know, it changes the trajectory of the kids, even ability on the court, because they feel it, they believe it, you know? And so I just think getting caught up in a lot of the hoopla is the part. You got to use the hype. You can't let the hype use you, you know?
Yep. And as I saw, basically, the older you get, the less room for error, the less time you have for error to just be kind of testing stuff. Like I said, you definitely got to get it right. I'm going to go to Damon real quick. I saw his hand up. You can unmute yourself if you're muted, Damon.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. First of all, welcome to the community.
Well, thank you. Matter of fact, that's the reason I raised my hand. I don't know if I have a question, but I did want to thank you, Ashley, for the community that you created. It already has provided some value to me because, as some of the commenters have already stated, and what you just said is that I have a limited window, right? So my daughter, just so you know, for background information, my daughter, she's a high school junior, and so we've done AAU for the past few years. And her beginning in basketball started in 7th grade. She came to us when she was in 6th grade, said, I want to play basketball. We was like, cool, we're going to support you. I put her in lacrosse before that. She didn't really like it, so I said, look, I don't want to be one of those parents that try to live vicariously through their kids. So I had her in lacrosse. She didn't want it. And then on her own, she just wanted to play basketball. So once she displayed that interest, we got her involved. Now, her middle school coach was one of those coaches where he's one of those coaches. He was just there for the stipend, basically. He didn't coach her up. He didn't teach her anything. So what we did is after her 8th grade year, we had her get a personal trainer, and that really helped elevate her game and kind of, you know, make up where she was behind because of her middle school experience. The trainer, they had just started up an AAU team, and because of the great relationship we have with the trainer, we joined their AAU team. And the thing that I can personally say from experience is there's a difference between the trainer and then the head of the AAU organization. Because the AAU experience with her was not what the training experience was. And so that's something that if I had a opportunity to speak to anybody that's a parent of a potential AAU candidate or different teams and see what's what. Because again, a trainer is different from the head of the AAU organization. And the team she was on last year, the goal was for her to be on this team, the same team this year again. But to your point, we may try out some other people just to make sure. Because again, going into her senior year, we don't want to play the game of, you know, because we had some issues with this past team, but because they were better than the previous team, we don't want to just assume that this is the perfect team.
Right.
And so we've got a lot of different things that we want to look at and see, because like you said, we have a short window of time and we don't have forever, and this stuff ain't cheap. And so we want to make sure that if our daughter's going to go play at the next level, we put her in the best position to do so. And so this community, I appreciate everybody commenting, and I've received so much information already just being a part as I've listened to people's experiences. And so I really appreciate everything, Ashley, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. And like I said, welcome. Any other questions? What we got?
I also am I'm battling, you know, because we work out so much, but she's been going into, like, Lily played prep last year. So it was a little more grueling on her body. You know, we didn't finish till dang near April, and then we jumped right into AAU. So there was like really no down. So I'm trying to figure out like you know, we grind, but it's like trying to force that time to like get the rest in too, you know, the recovery. I think it's a lot of wear and tear, and the last thing I want is, you know, like we know what we're doing as kids, but that stuff adds up, you know.
Right.
And so even if there's no injuries and whatnot, let's say we just get to the freshman year of college and then it starts having problems, you know. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, I guess it's more of a statement, a little bit of a question. What are y'all doing, you know, with your go-getter kids that want to grind all the time? Like, how are you utilizing some kind of recovery, or, you know, what's the discussion like in the house?
Any parents want to take that? Is Curtis still on here?
Yeah, I'm still here. What was the question? I heard some of what he was saying.
Basically, I think you actually be a perfect person, because I always see Celeste in the gym. But how are you? What is the conversation? Or Elijah, I'll let you explain.
Yeah, how are you utilizing like recovery? You know, what's that conversation like? Because I have a go-getter too. We do 2, you know, sometimes 3 times a day. But like, I can't force her to, like, when she's sitting down or not doing something, she feels like, you know, the world's about to end. But I'm trying to be mindful of the long game and the long path. So just a discussion around recovery, what that looks like, rest, you know, because that's an important part too.
Yeah, so we utilize. So I look at stuff not just basketball, right? So Celeste has a strength coach that she goes to, so we use that during the week as well. And then from a recovery standpoint, I mean, we're doing ice baths and all that kind of stuff. And then I have to also teach her some of the things just about film study, right, as well. So some of the days when we don't do anything basketball-wise, we may watch games that she plays and kind of goes through that as well. But you definitely have to put some type of recovery time in there, right? Because like I said, they're working out a lot. But we do ice chambers, ice bath. I mean, literally anything you can think of from a recovery standpoint. We try to mix that in during the course of the week because she is working out a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Ashley, I have something to say.
Yep. Who is it? I can't see.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, but who's talking? I can't. You must have your camera off because I can't see you.
Yeah, I have it off. Can you hear me though?
Yep. Who is it?
Amber.
Okay, there we go. Hey, Amber. I couldn't see, so I'm like, I don't know who's talking. Yes, go ahead.
I know, because I never say anything. But again, thank you for everything. I would say for my daughter, she works out 3 times a day. So we have like a membership at this place called Augment. So she does like red light, sauna, bio-tapping, brain tap, meditation, and compression. And then during the week is hard. Like right now she's battling Achilles tendonitis, so she hasn't been able to train as much. Like after Best of the Best, it was hurting so bad because that was such a long day for her. But we do that. And so on the weekends, she's just going on the weekends. We make sure she does it every weekend. She goes to a chiropractor. She sees a podiatrist. I know that sounds like a lot, but he told her that she just needs to stretch more because when your body's growing, those muscles and tendons are stretching. So she may just need to do like more just stretching, going to a chiropractor. That helps as well. And then I would say just with the grind, because she works out 3 times a day, just knowing that she's worthy and she's enough. Like if you don't, do as much or think you need to do more, like you've done enough, you're worthy just as you are, especially for young girls with like confidence in their self-esteem. That's just so important for them.
Yep, I love it. I love it. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Amber. Michelle says ice bath, leg compressions, and chiropractor. Dionette, ice bath, leg compressions, cryo, strength and conditioning. She stretches every night. Amber just talked about stretching.
For the parents that's working out 3 times a day, are these high schoolers or middle schoolers? I know Celeste is in high school, but
High school. Mine's in high school, and we worked up to that. Like Lily, just coming from prep school where they worked out like 5-6 hours a day, she just became accustomed to like that lifestyle. And so for her, she now has she does morning stuff, then she has a 7th period off, so she does stuff there. Then they go practice, and then she finishes out with stuff. So it's it's about 5 hours essentially. But that started with just the whole prep school route. I mean, she was working out, but it wasn't near as consistent as what I'm noticing now, on her own.
I think that's a good point, what you said too, because I've looked at it as we've built up to this. Like, so we ain't been doing, 3 times a day forever, right? Because for a while, as Ashley knows, Celeste didn't even like playing basketball. But
yeah.
As we got more and more serious over the years, and while we got into 7th grade and 8th grade, we kind of, I kind of looked at it as ramping it up a little bit more. Even like with her strength coach, like she's been going to a strength coach for over a year and a half, but only once a week. So now I'm like, okay, we probably need to start doing 2 times a week. And then in my mind, by her senior year, she probably needs to be lifting 3 or 4 times a week, just to give her that simulation of what she'll get when she get to, college, right? So I definitely think you need to build it up with your kid and make sure that they take the proper steps to kind of increase as the years go on, and to help them get to that point. So I think that was definitely a good point about
and
the build up.
A good point too. Like if my 5th grader, now knowing what I know, I'm accelerating my 5th grader's growth, but we do mini sessions. So I set a timer for 10 minutes and that session counts, you know what I mean? And so she's building up to it, and we'll go out and do lunges, but the lunges have no weight to them. It's just getting body control and whatnot. So, but she now sees what it takes and is starting to already ramp herself up. So my hopes are by 7th, 8th grade, she's falling in love with it so much that she wants to continue to do more. And then I got to pump the brakes on a 7th and 8th grader, because then that means I feel like I've done, we've done our part as parents. If you can literally take a step back and your kid's grinding, as opposed to dragging them to it. So Curtis, kudos to you, because she looks like she enjoys it, and I think that's the biggest part is, as parents, we got to remember we're in the passenger seat, because if we're not, if we're the ones driving it, it's going to crash. I mean, they might get to college, but as soon as First Thursday comes and you got drink till you drop, you better believe she dropping. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think another thing just with us, I think with Celeste and some of her work ethic stuff also came from playing with Sci-Fair.
Yeah.
Because when we first got to Sci-Fair, Celeste was the 8th or 9th person on the team, right? So after we completed that season, now mind you, I never complained to the coach or nobody about her minutes or nothing like that. But after the season was over, I sat down and had a talk with her and say, look, if you want to be one of the top people playing for this team, we have to increase our work to match what, I don't even know if it was what the other people were doing, because some of her other friends don't even work out like her, but they were just more talented, younger.
Right.
So that also gave her an extra little kick, motivation, I believe, as well, playing with better players and coming off that bench to say, well, damn, I don't really like this. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, she's going to the gym and she's an animal. And then a year later, she got more offers than most of her friends. You know what I mean? So that made a big difference in her work ethic and what she wanted to do in her drive as well. And now, like you said, once you're in the 9th grade, now it's kind of routine, right? So if you're not going to the gym, it's what are we doing? You know, it's
Right.
that type of thing, because now you're kind of conditioned and trained to do that. But like I said, she got a good kick from her 7th grade year, because the year before that, as Ashley know, we played with Ashley. We're in Austin. We're beating everybody. She's killing everybody. We get to Sci-Fair. You're the 9th man. That made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of helped her.
But you know what, Curtis? You said it. Like, she struggled. You allowed her to go. No, I wouldn't even say struggle, but she wasn't happy where she was at. And you
Right.
allowed her as a parent, though, to feel that cold and not, like, cover her, go to the coach and start, like, you know, you
Yeah.
gotta put it out there. You're a former athlete in college, so you know, like, it's cold in the streets, man. Like, if you don't bring it, someone will replace you, you know? And so Lily's big moment was probably 7th grade, not getting picked on a certain team, even though she might have been the better player. She just didn't pass the eye test. And I told her, like, you'll never pass. I gave you genetics that are going to allow you never to pass an eye test. Like, I did that. Not mom, me, little old me. So, like, you in a gym,
Yeah.
you better have all the
You gotta
dollars in the
stand
world,
out.
and you better
Yeah.
have all the skill set, because you'll never pass the eye test. The coach will never look at you and say, who is that?
Right.
So,
That's a fact. That's a fact. I like it. I like it. Any other questions? What we got?
Ashley, I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know. Is that just me?
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Elijah, you can't hear me?
You sound a little far away, but I mean, I can still hear you, though.
Okay.
I don't know. What? Am I good now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Just a little low, like Amber said.
Hmm.
Come on, speak up, Ashley. Speak up.
I'm like, I don't know why.
I think it was actually louder when we first got on.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm in the same spot. I ain't did nothing. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, O is doing basketball like 4 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have her like lifting, like, but it's like light weights and stuff twice a week. So we doing sometimes like twice a day,
Mm-hmm.
and but that's when either a training or a practice or something overlaps. But like the goal for her is like we trying to get her. I want her to play varsity as a freshman.
What high school was
And-
she feeding to?
What high school?
Yeah.
Oh, our local school is Jersey Village High School.
Okay.
We're not a basketball power, but
Yeah.
as of right now, I don't really believe in moving for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to go to school and play basketball or do whatever with the friends she's always grown up with. Now, that's
I
how I
like
feel right now.
Forget that, Jimmy. Forget that.
Yes.
Just like you said earlier, you want to play with people that's serious and AAU. It ain't gonna be no difference when you get to high school. Believe me. Some of these kids that let's playing with, it's a struggle. Believe me, and it make her look crazy. You know what I mean? So you might think differently in a couple years from now. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're probably right.
It sounds good when you just put her out there. Yeah, okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But I realized that she needed to get, well, she's gonna have to be stronger, and so we can't start lifting and doing push-ups and lunges and all that kind of stuff. You know that her 8th grade summer going into 9th grade, we got to start building up and working towards that. And I think she's already seeing some of the benefits now, just stronger. And then my goal, like the other gentleman was saying, was hopefully she will get to I'm trying to develop habits in her. And so hopefully she will get to the point, especially by the time she get to high school, where she kind of on autopilot. You know, I'm going up to the high school early, I'm getting up some shots, or I'm going to go out to the garage and lift weights, you know. But she knows she needs to be doing something. And so we just trying to work up to that, but we're not quite to the three times a day, but it may end up being 3 times a day because she's about to start playing school ball. So she may do something in the morning, have practice at school, and then go to a training that night. But, it takes what it takes.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing too. Since we have high school practice, and in my opinion, that's just my opinion. It don't count for nothing. But I don't really count high school practice as really a real workout because you really just working out with like I said, a bunch of kids that might not be on your level, and even from a individual standpoint, you're not getting as much individual work in a high school practice that you would, training on your own. So I mean, it count. Don't get me wrong, it count. But to me, it's not like you got a great workout that day. Unless you're going to Mount Verde or something like that and you're working out with great players.
Yeah.
That's just how I look at it.
Yeah. Michelle said, oh, I see you responded. Yeah, definitely put that in the community. I guess since we're here, you want to kind of talk about it real quick, Curtis. But I definitely would love for you to put that in the community as well. She asked if you mind sharing your daily schedule.
Yeah, I was just about to type it out. But yeah, I can tell y'all real quick. So we go 6. So Monday we go 6 to 7:30 a.m. with obviously a basketball trainer. It's only her and one other girl. Then she has school practice 3:30 to 5:30, and then we come back in the evening with that same trainer from that morning 7 to 8. That's where we're actually at right now. We do that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So she got that. So then on Tuesdays, she doesn't do anything in the morning. She does her school practice, whatever, 3 to 5:30, and then we go to the strength coach Tuesday night. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's leave a day out.
Yeah, you left out Thursday.
Right? Is that all the days?
Thursday.
Oh yeah, Thursday she does the same. She does the same 3. No, I'm sorry. Thursday she doesn't go in the morning. She goes to her school practice, and then she goes to the same trainer, or 7 o'clock in the evening. So she does 2 on Thursdays, 3 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if I said that right.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, she works out on Saturdays. It just kind of depends. But she'll work out for a couple hours on Saturday. On Sunday, she doesn't work out at all. So
that's
Sunday, we agreed to no working out. So that normally is a day where we might do even more recovery stuff, compression legs, stuff like that. So Sunday we try to keep no working out at all. But that's what we're doing right now. Yep, so that's the schedule. But I'll still type it out and put it in there for y'all.
Perfect. All right, folks. Any other questions before we get up off here? This was a good one.
That's all I got.
Yeah,
Ashley, who you looking forward to seeing play? Are you going to the Prelude?
I am. I will be at the Prelude. I am going to be at the Prelude. I'm actually going to be. Faith Family has an event Friday. It's real small, like 4 schools. I'm actually go there Friday. I think it's Faith Family, HSAA, school from Australia, and high school. So I'm going to go there on Friday. And then Saturday, I'll be at the Prelude. It's going to be a lot of matchups. I don't even know who I'm looking forward to seeing. Like, you got, I think North Crowley and Summer Creek play. Do they play each other? I don't know who play each other at this point. It's just a lot of good matchups. I'm there all day. All day. Michelle did ask, what about academics and bedtime?
Forget academics and forget bedtime.
I knew you was gonna say that.
No, I'm just joking. So Celeste right now, she probably at like a 3.8, so she's doing pretty good. Mm-hmm. And she takes all AP classes. Unfortunately enough, we don't talk much about academics because she kind of handled that on her own. And I let her go to bed whenever she wants because she understands that she got to get up in the morning. So she kind of so I don't know what time she goes to bed, to be honest, but I know when I text her, "Are you up?" at 5:30, she always responds. So that's all that counts to me. So I really don't care what time she go to bed. But I assume she go to bed maybe 10, 11. I'm assuming. That's my assumption.
Curtis say, forget that schoolwork.
Forget that schoolwork. Nah, she's doing good at school, so I ain't got to worry about that.
That's good.
We wouldn't be going to the gym as much as she wasn't, I tell you that.
There you go.
I piggyback off of that. Old made straight A's. And it's a weird thing here in South Fair, her school district. They don't do homework yet for
That's a fact. Last question before we get off of here. Actually for somebody. When you train, how much time is spent on shooting, drills, dribbling, and passing? Anybody who ever want to take that?
Right. I'll jump in just for fun. Right now, like Lily dedicates one specific training to like off ball moves, and then her 7th period is dedicated specifically to just shooting. So like she gets 50 minutes. Ash, I've sent you a couple times.
I was just gonna say, I done got some of them videos. She working.
Yeah. So and they got a gun. They got 3 guns at the school. So she's fortunate. Like she has no excuse why she can't get, her 500 makes up and whatnot. But that's 7th period. And then in the evenings, she has a tendency to, we do little micro sessions at the house. Cause I think her biggest weakness, in my opinion, is her shiftiness. I've told her that, been on her about it. And so we're just kind of working on that and trying to create good movement patterns when it comes to her point guard, movements and whatnot. So
I like it. All right. I think we are good. Unless somebody wanna come off and ask a question. But thank y'all. Thank y'all for good Q&A day. I like when we got some good Q&A days, good engagement, good conversations. I will put this recording in the classroom. So once it's downloaded, can y'all hear me? Am I good? Okay. I will put this in the recordings. I want to hear your takeaways. So I'll put something in the chat for some takeaways. Curtis, that's where you can type the your daily schedule. Once I put that little takeaway.
Yeah, put that. Yeah, because I'm already done. So once you put it, I'll paste it in there.
Okay, so I'll put that in there. Okay. If y'all got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on the app. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I'm probably gonna, cause we done talked about a lot of recovery, like stuff like that. I think that's what I want to try to get in. I might get in 4th quarter recovery. She's actually supposed to come on a podcast, but I might have her come in the community first. She actually worked with a lot of Duncanville players. She's worked with a lot of NBA players. She's pretty dope. I might get her to come in and just talk about some recovery, some injury prevention, stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna hit her up. I like to get the people after they come on a podcast, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna bring her in here first. So I'm gonna reach out to her. Yeah, bring her in. I'm gonna reach out to her and see if we can set that up. I think she might be our next guest. So again, thank y'all. I will see y'all when I see you. Talk to you when I talk to you. Have a great night.
Recording stopped.
Y'all, that was Q&A in the community every single month. First of all, Williams Lionel, did I say that right? I appreciate all the are you a coach? Are you a coach or something? I appreciate everything you was putting in the chat if you're still on here. But every month inside the different community, let me get that out the way. Every month inside of the different community, we have a Q&A day. We also every month have a guest that comes on and gives information, talks to the parents, talk information, helping the parents out. So that's what y'all just listen in on. For the ones that was listening that stayed on, we are done. I'm trying to see if Williams is still on here. I don't know if he's still on here, but you were putting some good stuff in the chat. I was hoping that I would end and you would still be on here, but it looks like you are not. If y'all did not subscribe to the channel, go subscribe to that. The goal is to get to 3,500 subscribers by the end of November. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel.